Okay, now I know that this may sound crazy and that you may not even believe because it's so nuts. It's pretty bonkers, honestly. So I want to share with you what just happened, and it's absolutely amazing if you believe in the idea that miracles are literally normal and you can create anything that you want in your reality and even do it a lot quicker than you think. So this is Jake Ducey with JakeDucey.com, and you really won't believe what just happened. So make sure you hit the like button right over there and right over there, and let's dive right into the video. All right, I was 21 years old. I was sitting on my couch. I listened to Bob Proctor on a computer recording of a seminar that he did, and he was telling the story about how his life changed. He owed $6,000. This was way back in the day. Bob's 86 now, so this was in Bob's 20s, early 20s. He owed $6,000, and he was only making $4,000 a year. He only had 2 months of high school education. And he was, in his words, broke, unhappy, sick all the time, never had any money. And his mentor, Ray Stanford, came over to him and he said, I want you to pull out an index card, and on that index card, I want you to write what you want. And Bob wanted $25,000. Remember, this was way back in the days, 86 now. This was in his early 20s. So that is an awful lot of money. He said he didn't even know a single person that had that much money. He was only making $4,000 and he owed $6,000. It would have taken him an awful long time, about 18 months, where he was taking all of his earned income to pay off his debts just to break even. So he writes on this card, I am so happy and grateful I have $25,000. Ray Stanford said to carry this card everywhere you go. He said if you carry this card with you, it's going to activate those brain cells. And if you carry it with you everywhere you go, every single time you're activating a picture in your mind. You're activating those brain cells. We know now from neuroscience, it's called Hebb's Law. It says that nerve cells that fire together, they wire together in your brain. So it creates something that we now know called a synaptic connection or a neural network. So he tells Bob this, Bob writes on it, and by a couple years later, he didn't have $25,000. He was actually making $175,000 a year. He was cleaning offices, and he ended up having offices all over America and London and all over Canada. He was making $175,000, just a couple years removed from making $4,000. He exceeded what was on this card dramatically. And I was about 21 years old. My wife was in credit card debt. My girlfriend at the time, beautiful Ashley, who's about to have a baby. And I wrote on this card. And I started with something that seemed even unbelievable at the time because I was making about $2,000 a month, give or take, some lower, some higher. And I put for my first one, he said to write something that you weren't even sure you could achieve. And I thought, what about 20,000? That would be 10x. That would be the most nutty thing in the entire world. At first, I wrote 5,000. I remember because I was like, there's no way I can even achieve 20. This is absurd. This is ludicrous. I can't see how, at my level of consciousness, how I could ever create that. I guess that's why Albert Einstein said that you can't solve a problem from the same level of consciousness that created it. You have to raise your level of awareness. And I'm like, I can't do 5. Here's this guy saying that he went from 4,000 to 175,000 in a couple years. If I put 5, that's nowhere even near in the ballpark of what this guy's suggesting to do. And I don't have what I want in life yet, so I should do what this guy who does have what he wants in life says to do. So I didn't believe I could do it, but I believed he believed it. And if I believed he believed it, then that was belief enough for me, even though I didn't believe it. So I thought 20. But 20 was such a daunting number for me, I didn't believe it, that I changed it to 21,000. I was like, this is a weird number. It's kind of like a pattern interrupt. 21,000. I'm like, I don't know, maybe it's a mystical number. I don't know. It just seemed like it was kind of weird, like an odd number. And so it made it less daunting when I wrote it on a piece of paper. Now, the craziest thing happened. I didn't end up making $21,000. I ended up turning first my annual income into my monthly income. And then what ended up happening is my income rose above $100,000 a month. And this was all the while in my 20s. I just turned 29 a couple weeks ago. And while this isn't a lot of money compared to Jeff Bezos for a 20-something-year-old following his passion who dropped out of college, and everybody said that I would never be successful as an author and this was a terrible idea and you can't make money that way and you're going to ruin your whole life. And so I said, fine, I just want to be happy even if I don't make any real money at it, as long as I'm inspiring people and I'm writing books and making videos and talking in these videos about consciousness and raising our level of awareness and spirituality. As long as I'm happy, it's fine. To go from that to where I went is bonkers. And the craziest thing is my wife and I were sitting outside. We're about to have our baby. And so we were sitting outside and she says, I'll be right back. And this is on right before my 29th birthday the other day. And she comes back with this little box and she says, check this out. And so she had been collecting a lot of our stuff, a lot of our memories over the years, because we started dating when we were like 22, I think. So she had all these memories, all these photos, journals, pieces of notes. And inside these notes were my old index cards. I still make my index cards today, but my old ones were in there. They were folded up into these tiny little things like this. And I was like, oh. Because what I would do is I'd write it every single day, just like Bob said it, and then I would carry it around with me all day in my hand, and I'd activate those brain cells all day long, because that's what he said would happen. And then, eventually it would be crumpled up, and then I would just it'd fall out of my pocket, and it'd be, in a cushion in the couch or on the floor. And Ashley started picking them up and saving them. And so I found my old cards that said, I wish, I'm so happy and grateful I'm making $21,000 a month. And then I'm so happy and grateful that I'm a happy spiritual millionaire. And I, in net worth, had $1 million by the time I was 29. All these crazy things happen. And so my point is that if that could happen for me, and that could happen for Bob, from $4,000 a year to $175,000 a year, owing $6 to $175. Then it went from $175 to him making multiple millions a year. What do you think could happen for you? And it doesn't need to be money. I mean, it could be anything. It could be a dream. It could be a business idea. It could be a lifestyle. Just you wanting to create your own reality. And it's a very simple process to do, and you're going to be amazed at the results that come into your life when you do it. So now I just want to give you the 3 quick and easy ways to apply this. But if you're still watching this video and this is something you are 100% going to do right now, you're going to get a 3x5 index card. I kind of folded mine up over the course of this video. You're going to get some 3x5 index cards, and you are going to begin it with, I am so happy and grateful. So you start in the present tense because the subconscious receives information in the present tense, and that's how you activate the brain cells, because your brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not real. So Proctor says start with, I am so happy and grateful. And that's step number 1. Now, before we get into step number 2, if you're still watching this video, just make sure you hit the like button right over there, because this sends us out into the YouTube universe so more people see it. Anyways. So number 2 is to only write in the present tense. So it was, for me, I am so happy and grateful now that I am a successful thought leader, inspiring millions of people and earning $21,000 a month. Sometimes I would simplify it and I would write, I am so happy and grateful. Large sums of money come to me quickly and easily. I am earning $21,000 plus per month. And I would, sometimes change the words here and there to have a pattern interrupt just ever so slightly. Because I would write it basically every day. I would write it fresh. And so I would do it in the present tense. So yours would be, I am so happy and grateful now that I am earning blah, blah, blah. I am doing that my life looks like blah, blah, blah. And you write in the present tense because that's how you activate the brain cells. Step number 3 is to carry it everywhere. Carry it everywhere. So I'm so happy and grateful, present tense, Just a couple sentences, nothing too long, because you want to be able to memorize it and you want it to be a simple, succinct statement so that you can use repetition to activate those brain cells and to start to make that a part of your reality. And then step number 3 is to carry it with you everywhere. What I love to do is go on walks and carry it with me on walks. So I'll go on a walk, I'll listen to something inspiring. You know, you could turn on a YouTube video or you listen to an audiobook. So I would do that and I would carry the card in my hand with me. I wouldn't put it in my pocket, I'd carry it in my hand with me. Because wherever your energy goes is where creation follows. Whatever you give energy to grows. Ralph Waldo Emerson said that. He said, whatever you give energy to grows. So I was giving energy to this statement all the time. I'd go into the store and I'd still have it folded in my hand. When I was driving, I just put it on my lap like that, drove, and then when I was done, I would pick it back up. I would look at it when I'd open the door and get out of the car, and it was ready to be in my hand. I put it in my pocket when I got something going on and around other people or whatever, put it in my pocket, and then I would stick my hands in my pockets. What I was doing was always putting my energy on the fact that I was so happy and grateful that I was earning at the time $21,000 a month and that all these amazing things were happening as I was inspiring millions of people with my books and with my YouTube channel. And the results were absolutely amazing. So go ahead and give it a try. So this is Jake Ducey with JakeDucey.com. If you enjoy this video, be sure to check out my free success hypnosis. It's right there down below. I always say, brainwash yourself before the world brainwashes you. The truth is, actually think about this for a minute. Everybody's hypnotized because psychologists say 95% of our life is controlled by our subconscious. Our subconscious is how you got programmed since childhood. Things you heard from adults, things you heard from society. Look around. Most people don't have the life that they want. Most people aren't making the amount of money that they want. Most people aren't as happy as they want. Most people aren't that excited to get out of bed. Most people don't have the life that they really wish they had. And the trouble with that is, if we aren't careful, we get programmed subconsciously to live at the level of society or the level of normal. So it's time to brainwash yourself for success before the world brainwashes you for failure. Brainwash yourself before the world does. So my free success hypnosis is right there down below. I would just start by listening to it for a couple minutes in the morning, and if you have time, a couple minutes at night. You'll start to see your subconscious start to get reprogrammed. You'll start to adopt new beliefs, like that you give your talents with love and you're wonderfully blessed financially. Unexpected success will just start coming to you. You'll get the phone call. You'll get the email. You'll get the right idea. The right idea will just come to you, and then the plans to execute it will just come to you. You'll attract the right friendships, the right romance, because you've programmed your mind. You've updated the software of your supercomputer to fit with the reality that you actually want. When you upgrade the software of the most powerful supercomputer in the world, and you make that software or those computer programs about having the life that you want, you get it to show up in your life. So right there down below is my free success hypnosis. It's pinned to the comments right there down below, and it's also in the description. It's jakeshypnosis.com. So you go ahead and you can use that right there down below for a couple minutes, and then be sure to come back and tell me the amazing things that head into your life from using it. If you are somebody that has used it and you've had fantastic results, do me a favor and leave a comment down below and let me know about the great things that head your way, or let me know about the story of something great that came into your life from using it. I think this is also a great platform to inspire others, so I would love to hear your story, and I'm sure many others would too, about the great things that come into your life when you reprogram your subconscious mind. So thank you for watching this video, and thank you for subscribing. Thank you for taking the time to check it out. I can't wait for you to actually now pull out a pen, get an index card, and if you don't have an index card, hop in the store, go over and grab an index card. Pull out a Sharpie or pull out a pen and just write whatever it is that you want right there on it. And soon, if you can see it in your mind, you'll hold it in your hand.